Hey everybody, welcome to another WORTCUNNING Wednesday. Today I thought we'd talk about yet another of my very favorite herbs, which is mugwort, Artemisia vulgaris. There are a lot of different species of mugwort. It's in the Artemisia family, which is all a part of the Asteraceae. And you'll notice that it's got these long leaves with a bunch of little leaflets that come out of it. They're all pretty deeply toothed. And at the tip of the leaf, every single one, you're going to find these three leaves at the tip. And that's really how you tell an Artemisia. Does it have these leaves that have three leaflets that form a trident at the tip? If they do, then it's probably an Artemisia. With mugwort, Artemisia vulgaris, on the underside you'll see that the leaf is much more silvery and hairy than the top. The top is going to be this really vibrant green, and the bottom will be this kind of silvery white. Also, when you rub mugwort, it smells a little bit menthol, a little bitter, very green, very herbal. And it smells amazing. I wish that we had smell-o-visions so that you could smell it too. You'll also notice with mugwort that close to the stem, you have these little starter leaves that grow out. Here's a little bit of new growth on this plant. So, mugwort has been used medicinally for a long time. It's used as an emmenagogue, it's used for coughs. Very often it's used as a vermifuge to get rid of worms and stuff. But for a long time it's been used as a women's herb. One of the folk ways of using it is to tie mugwort to the thigh of a childbearing person in labor. And then once the child is born, you take the mugwort away immediately, and that's supposed to help stop bleeding. Although this plant is astringent, so it would help to stop bleeding as a compress or a poultice as well. Drinking the infusion of the herb, a warm infusion, would also help with bleeding. One of the recipes is to take about 3 fistfuls of the leaf and then 12 to 13 full cloves, and then boil them in a pint of white wine for about 30 minutes, and then have the childbearing person drink that during labor, which would help stimulate uterine contraction and ease the birth. I'm not a midwife, so I've never tried it, but that's what the lore says. And then with that infusion, you'd want to serve it to the person at room temperature. So this is one of the herbs known as St. John's wort. Of course, St. John's wort is a particular plant as well, Hypericum perforatum. But there's a grouping of plants called St. John's worts that were sacred to St. John the Baptist, or at least in the lore they are. And it's said that St. John wore a girdle of mugwort. So he kind of wove a belt out of it, it said. And it protected him from spirits in the wilderness. And this is one of the ultimate protection herbs. On Midsummer's Eve, what young women would do is put the herb around their waist like a girdle, and then at the end of the festivities, they would take the herb and throw it into a fire, and that would protect them for the rest of the year. Using this as a smoke or a suffumigant, a saning herb, is one of the best ways to use it, I think. So you would just dry it and then make an incense with it, or put it over coals, or whatever you're going to do. And then you suffumigate yourself with that smoke, and it acts kind of like sage does, but specifically for the dreaming body. So it can help to get rid of nightmares, repetitive dreams. It can help with getting the message in a dream. You can also take leaves or a sprig of mugwort and put it under the pillow to help with dreaming. One of the cool things I've read in Corinne Boyer's work, Under the Bramble Arch, that's the name of her book, is to use an infusion of mugwort in a scrying bowl or in the cauldron, and that helps to aid in seeing visions in your scrying bowl. It's also known as an herb of forgetfulness, and can be used in spell work for invisibility and having people forget information that it would be better that they forget. It's also, this is one that we include in our dreaming oil and in our hedge crosser, sacred smoke. And this can be used to very great effect when hedge writing. It helps to put you into a trance. So you would just make an infusion of you could use fresh leaves. Dry leaves infuse a little faster, and I think they can be a little stronger. But you make a water infusion of the leaves, you drink that, and it helps to put you into a wee little trance. And that can help with hedgecraft and also spellcraft. It puts you in the right mindset. This is also an herb that deals very strongly with the dead. It's sacred to Hecate, with that tridentate leaf there. Remember, Hecate is a triple goddess, and so this is sacred to her. It's also sacred to Diana, who in some respects is Hecate. But Hecate is a cycle bomb, and so this helps to move spirits across boundaries. It helps to get them out of your space. It helps to get them to move forward into the death ways and then on to the next part of their journey. So this is a really powerful herb, especially when used in conjunction with Hypericum perforatum, or St. John's wort, or juniper. Juniper is, especially here in the Southwest, one of our strongest herbs for exorcism. And so if you burn mugwort with juniper leaves, it can help to move those spirits forward and keep them from meddling in your life, banging cabinets in the middle of the night and such. It can also be used as a strong protective herb while traveling. So one of the bits of folklore is to take mugwort root and comfrey root and put them in a red flannel poke with a medallion of St. Christopher to help protect you while you're traveling. I would add to that horehound and eggshell just to help protect you a little further and to help get rid of any roadblocks there might be along the way. Another way of using it for that is to put a leaf of mugwort in your shoe, and that's said to alleviate fatigue and tiredness during long journeys. But many of us travel on foot these days for a very long distance. But, you know, if you're out walking around, maybe putting a leaf of mugwort in your shoe would help. So those are just a few of the things that you can use mugwort for. Again, this is Artemisia vulgaris. one of the most witchy herbs that I know. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I never know how to end these things. Anyway, may we meet in the twilight and have an awesome, awesome, awesome day.